Let me guess, you want to make money online. So you decide to start searching on YouTube what business to start. You find out about all of these amazing business models that gurus claim can make you millions. So you decide to give them a go. But something strange happens. You don't make any money. You think that there is no way that these business models don't work because these guys made millions from them. Or did they? In today's video, I'm going to reveal a secret business model that these gurus use to actually make their millions. I'll also share a 3-step plan that you can follow to start today. And I'll also be documenting my journey on this channel. So stay tuned for that. Stick around until the end of the video so that I can tell you where you can get a free PDF version of this plan. But before I reveal these 3 steps, I must first tell you what this business model is and why it is the best. So the business model in question is building a personal brand, and here is why it is the best. Let's take SMMA for example, one of the most popular business models, and everyone says you can make a lot of money with it, but let's see if that is the case. In case you didn't know, SMMA stands for Social Media Marketing Agency, and the way you make money with this business model is by offering digital marketing services to businesses, and in return, they pay you a monthly retainer fee to do so. This sounds super easy, but there is a huge problem with this business model. Because it's so popular, everyone is doing it, which means the competition is really high, which makes it hard to get clients because everyone is pitching the exact same thing to these business owners, and believe me, I would know. I've sent hundreds of messages pitching these services, and 99% of business owners said the same thing. We get these kinds of messages every day. We're not interested. On the other hand, building a personal brand is a business model that's practically a goldmine, but nobody seems to notice. I've spent hours and hours studying this business model, and I think I've finally cracked the code. So with all of that being said, let's begin. The first step of this plan is going to be learning a valuable skill. In this day and age, it is essential that you possess a skill that is perceived as valuable. Digital marketing, content creation, appointment setting, and so on. Basically, any skill that can generate someone a lot of money. In my case, I chose content creation, since this skill is both valuable and it's the one I've always wanted to learn. But the real question is, how do you actually learn a skill like that? And the answer is much more simple than you think. And no, you don't have to buy an expensive course, you can do it all for free. First things first, you have to get hold of the basics. You can do this by just watching YouTube tutorials on how to start learning your desired skill for beginners. And you can probably find hundreds of useful videos, and probably a lot of free courses on YouTube as well. In my case, I would go on YouTube, and in the search bar, I would type content creation for beginners. Then, I would watch as many videos as possible on that topic, but the key part here is not to just watch the video mindlessly, but while you're watching these videos, you should take notes and write down the key points that you need to remember. How do I know this? Well, that is because I already did that myself, and I know that this is the best way to learn something. Next thing you have to do is get experience, and you're probably wondering, how am I going to get experience if I only know the basics? But don't worry, I thought the same thing when I was starting out. I talked about it in my first ever video. This is the solution you won't want to hear, but here it is. Work for free for a short while. Hear me out. If you do the learning process properly and you get some experience, trust me, you will be better than 99% of people at that skill. And the experience you acquire is going to help you out in the next step, which is the most important step of this plan. But before I reveal this step to you, let me tell you a story about this guy, Iman Gadji. You probably know him by now. He is one of the most popular finance YouTubers, and he claims to have made a large portion of his wealth through SMMA. But is that really the case? Well, yes and no. It is true that he started his business journey with a service-based business and then transitioned into SMMA. But he did one crucial thing that would turn out to be his smartest move ever. He started producing content by documenting his journey, and later he started making useful videos with the knowledge he had acquired. This allowed him to build up a trustful audience that he could later use to make more money. And he did just that. By creating his education company and various other courses, he amassed up a net worth that is rumored to be around $85 million. And there are some things we can learn from him. So if you haven't guessed yet, the next step is going to be creating content. Your main goal in this step is going to be building an audience that trusts you. In order to do that, you need to make videos that are actually useful. And here is a simple 3-step formula that you can use to make actually useful videos. First step of this formula is choosing a hook for your videos. The hook is basically the first 3 to 5 seconds of your video, and it basically informs the viewers what your video is about. This will either make or break your video, so because I want to help you, I will give you 2 of my favorite hooks to use: negative hook and shock hook. With the negative hook, you're trying to add a negative spin to the topic of your video, since people are more intrigued by negative rather than positive emotions. I'll give you an example. Let's say you are a fitness coach for an example. Instead of saying, this is the best exercise to grow your legs. Say, for example, deadlifts are ruining your physique. Do this one exercise instead. Do you see the difference? Now for the shock hook, it's pretty similar, but instead of saying something negative, say something shocking. For example, instead of saying how to increase your bench press, which is boring, try saying double your bench in 1 week. Do you notice the difference? I'll make a separate video explaining how to write better hooks, but for now, you can follow me on my Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok for more daily value on topics like these. Once you figure out your hook for your video, you're going to give the promised value to your audience. This is where experience from learning a skill really comes in handy. In this part, you're going to share the knowledge that you acquired, and you're going to give them proof by sharing your past experiences. Basically, you're trying to get your viewers to their desired outcome with the minimal amount of setbacks. You can do this in multiple ways, but my favorite way to do this is to talk about something you've already done, or to talk about the mistakes you've made, or anything like that. Basically, you're sharing both your story and value while being relatable. Okay, so now you understand how to write a good hook and how to give value. All you have to do now is call to action. This is a really simple step. At the end of your videos, you must prompt your viewers to take the action that you want them to take. This can be to follow, like, share, or save the video. Pro tip, you can also put a call to action in the middle of your video to increase its effectiveness, since a lot more people are watching. Okay, so now that you understand how to make videos, there is only one thing that is left for us to do, and that is optimize our profile. Let's start with the profile picture. You can either use your face or you can use a character, but the key here is to make your character or your face stand out. You can do this by putting a solid color that matches your brand behind you. Next thing that we have to take care of is your username. Make sure that you either use your real name or your name plus a keyword of a niche that you're in. But whichever option you choose, the main thing that you have to do is not overcomplicate it and do not use any numbers, underscores, and stuff like that. The next thing you have to do is write your description. Just write in 1 or 2 sentences who you help and the proof of what you do, like I did here. Copy this process for Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and you're pretty much set. Now that you understand how to set up your accounts, we're ready to move on to the next step. Okay, so we've learned a skill and started making content, and we've finally got an audience. What now? All that is left for us to do is monetize our audience. Now, how exactly can we do that? We must sell them something that can actually help them achieve their goals. It is also important to make sure that our product actually works. There are 3 main ways someone can monetize their audience, and these are through courses, coaching, or online communities. With the rise in popularity of school, online communities have now become more popular than ever. There are school communities for pretty much anything you can think of, and we're going to take advantage of that. Once we gather enough of an audience, we're going to create our own school community in order to monetize our audience by helping them get to their desired outcome. You can price these communities anywhere between $10 all the way up to the hundreds of dollars per month. With the free traffic from our social medias, we can gather a lot of members and therefore make a lot of money doing so. And there you go. If we follow these 3 steps, we should be able to make a lot of money with this business model. This is an awesome business model, but we can take it a step further. Remember when I said that SMMA is dead? Well, that is not exactly true. To learn how to combine an agency business model with a personal brand, check out my latest video. If you do this, you will be miles ahead of the competition. Also, don't forget to subscribe to be a part of my journey, and follow me on my social medias to get more free daily value. That's it for today's video. Bye.